Hello and welcome to the show. This is Curtis Hordge, a licensed and bonded public insurance adjuster. I have a special guest on the show. I want you guys to meet Mrs. Carol Barnes. How you doing, Carol?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being on the show. I met you, Carol. I think, when did that tornado hit in Garland? Was it 2015, I believe?
2015, the day after Christmas.
2015, day after Christmas. That was a horrific day in Texas.
Yep.
We actually know one of our members of the church got killed in that tornado. She was on the tollway, and the car got blew off the bridge. You know, we did a lot of work over in the Rowlett and Garland area, and I remember when I first got in the area and started assessing what was going on and how bad it was. I started walking down the street talking to different people, and I walked down the street and I started talking to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think when you first saw me walk up?
I was like, here come a scammer.
I knew you was doing it. Like,
for some money.
I don't think she liked me.
I did not.
You know, she was a hard driver, boy. I tell you, she's a hard driver. But basically, I talked to you guys and I told you what my services were all about, and still you was like, you still weren't trying to hear it, you know. But when Michael, your husband, you know, he was a pretty reasonable guy. And, you know, he listened and he had questions. And so we was able to answer those questions. But what would tell me, my question is this, because I don't really know what people think. You know, I'm sure they don't know you're a fire chaser, you're a scammer or whatever coming up. But to me, the greater concern to me has always been, what are the concerns of the consumer or the person that suffered the loss? What is your, when you see your home, I mean, y'all were in a horrific situation. I mean, you may want to talk about that a little bit too, about, I mean, the story is unbelievable. I mean, thank God you're still here.
Yes.
I mean, your family was blessed, you know, nobody got seriously injured, but it could have been way worse. And I know you can never forget that, going through a situation like that. But my question is, what does a person think about when you see your home is just destroyed? You know, what is your concerns about, you know, I mean, what is your greatest concerns? I mean, you know you have insurance coverage, but what are your greatest concerns about you think about the process of becoming whole again?
Mm-hmm.
What are your greatest concerns? I mean, when you know people come, hey, I can help you with this, help with that, but what is your concerns about? What are you thinking about the most at a time like that?
Well, when it happened, that EF4 tornado hit, the first thing we're looking at is our home is gone. Mm-hmm. You know, we're no longer in our home that we built. And then the next thing, you see all these people coming into the neighborhood. You know, you don't know who they are. You
Right.
just see somebody here and people approaching you and saying, hey, you know, you need some help. I can help you rebuild your home. And you're like, I don't know you. So who are you? And then the next thing you're thinking is, wow, what do we do? Well, where do we go from here now? And then who do we call? Do we you know, you don't be thinking at that moment that, okay, I need to call the insurance people. I need to do this. I need to do that. Yeah. But then, you know, you say, okay, well, we got insurance, we need to call. And then, like I say, you got all these other people now, they coming up at you saying, you got insurance. Like, get away from me. I don't know who you are.
Exactly.
And, you know, so that's a big concern of the consumer out there, because they don't know who these people are. And everybody want to give you a business card and say, I can help you. And you're like, please. You know, I'm stressing right now, and here you come with your nonsense, and you don't have time to vet these people. But the one thing about you was, when you walked up, you talked to my husband. The first thing I was saying to myself, who is this guy talking to my husband? He's just another scammer trying to get some business. And then I walk over there to you, and then you introduce yourself, and I'm like, whatever.
I remember that. I was like, whoa.
Like, whatever. And then he's like, I'm not trying to scam you. I'm legit. I'm with public adjusters, you know, third generation. Mm-hmm. I'm here just to help you guys and make sure you don't get used and, you know, misused and advantage of. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you trying to take advantage anyway.
Didn't believe me.
I did not. And until you said, I can prove to you I'm no scammer. Here, take my phone. You can go through there and call anybody you want and ask them about me and how I help them. And I'm like, are you for real? And you say yes. And you open your phone up. And I took it because I was like, I want to see if this guy legit. I took it. And I called about 5 or 6 people in that phone, and they all had nothing but great things to say about you. And you didn't know who I was calling.
I didn't.
I just was calling. And so I called them, and they said that. And then I told my husband, I said, well, I guess he legit because everybody I called had nothing but great things to say about him.
Wow. That's a blast from the past right there.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that ever happened to me.
Yes. But it was amazing what they said. And I was like, okay, he can't be that good. We're going to have to see it. I said, if you trust him, but I was first, I said, if you trust him and he take advantage of us, this on you. I said, I'm going to be mad the rest of my life at you.
I remember that. And he said, Mike said, hey, let me talk to you. Mike pulled me to the side, and he really kind of confided in me and said, man, really, can I trust you, man? And I looked him dead in the eye and I said, yes, you can. You know, it was nothing more in my life that I wanted to do but help you guys, because I knew exactly what to do, and I knew exactly what you were up against. And I knew, you know, you just, this is too much for you to handle on your own. I mean, you can't do it, or just too much. And so, and I think I had Taurus King working with me, one of my guys working with me at that time, you know, he was out there too. But Mike looked at me, he said, okay, I'm gonna trust you, man. He said, I'm gonna tell you something now. If you mess me around, you know, you got to deal with my wife. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I mean, you were pretty tough, you know.
This was grounds for divorce, man.
So I was like, I made sure we took care of you guys, but you also referred us to your neighbors and stuff like that, and we took good care of them as well. And so that was a blessing, you know what I'm saying, to do that and help you guys out. And since then, you know, you referred me on, and Mike, of course, your husband referred me on multiple losses. Oh, you have a lot of people that you guys have known. Y'all had a show at one time. What was the name of your show again? It was
My Better Half with Kevin and Cassiva.
My Better Half, yeah. And so on the show there, people calling in and stuff like that. And, you know, just great to have me on that show at one time talking about my services, and I appreciate that. But it's just been it's been an awesome relationship, you know, knowing you guys. I mean, we met under some, you know, horrific circumstances, but the friendship was genuine, you know.
We built the friendship. That's right.
And I appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, all you guys have done for us and helping us out and sending us to people that need our help.
Because I call you for everything.
Well, Carol, tell me your side. I think I've heard Mike's experience of what happened then that day. Kind of give me your rundown of how, you know, on the short version of what happened. You know,
it was the day after Christmas. We had just come back from Mississippi, and that day was just so out of the ordinary altogether. And it was like going to Mississippi. It was barely raining, but it wasn't raining here. But when we got there, it was pouring down so hard that my kids were like, we ready to go back, Daddy. Let's go back because we don't want to be down here in the rain. So we was like, okay, we'll come back. So we came back, and then it was like God was just ordering our steps. I told my kids, I said, me and your daddy finna go to the store right quick to get my laptop because I had wrote some books called Is There Order in the House, which has to do with a Christian book. And I said, I need to go to Walmart. I went to Walmart, forgot my wallet. Never forgot my wallet. I asked my husband, I said, you have your wallet? He said, no, I left it. I was like, what? I said, we never left the house without our wallet, especially we just got back in town. So then we turned around. As we turned around, it started to drizzle a little bit. And then all of a sudden it just opened up. And then we got to the house, it stopped. The rain just stopped just like that. And I told him, I said, I'm going to pull up in the front. And you run and get your wallet, and I'm just go in the house. He said, well, I'm going to go in here and eat because I'm going to go to work now and like that. So anyway, my daughter she was sitting there watching TV. She's like, Mama, it's a tornado on the ground. I said, no, it's not. I said, it's pretty outside. She said, no, it's a tornado outside. I'm going to get my purse because it's coming this way. And I'm looking at the news. I'm like, nah, it's not going to do it. I say, they always say that. Yeah, I was like, they always say that, but it never come this way. But my husband was like, well, we're going to get flashlights and all that. So when and it was so weird because, like I said, everything was happening for a reason. I looked out the window and it was a black Nissan going down the street. And then a cab came through and he went the opposite direction. And I was like, there's a yellow cab going that way, and a Nissan going that way. It's not bad outside. Car's still driving. But like I say, all this was symbolic to something. So then after that, she's like, Mom is coming right now because it's raining in our house. And we like, there's no rain in the house. What is she looking at? What is she talking about? But then after that, my husband started, because he's been through a hurricane, because he's from Houston. I've never experienced a hurricane or a tornado before in my life, before then. All of a sudden, he was like calling our baby daughter from upstairs. He's like, Jasmine, get down here right now. And he's like, why are you screaming? He said, you be quiet and get in the bathroom. I said, what? I'm not going to no bathroom. I'm in defiant. I'm not doing anything. He was like, get in the bathroom. And then when my baby came down, he just shoved us all in the bathroom. Time he shoved us in the bathroom, he pulled the door and it hit. I didn't know what was going on. I was so out of body. I didn't know that.
What did you hear? What did you hear?
I didn't hear anything. That's why I said I didn't even think anything had happened. I was just out of body. And what made me realize something was going on outside of that bathroom door was that the toilet started shaking like that. And my baby she was sitting on the toilet, because the bathroom is it's like a half bath. So we sitting in there and all four of us in this little bathroom and we hold on to each other. So she's on the tail end by the toilet and the toilet just rocking. I'm like, oh my God, don't take my baby. I say, oh, don't take my baby. Don't take her, And then all of a sudden Kevin was like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. And the third time he said it's going to be okay, the door stopped moving, right? I was like, you sure it's over? He said, I think so. I think it's over. But the part about it, when we was trying to get out the bathroom, we couldn't get out. And we was like, what's holding the bathroom door? We can't get out. But Curtis, everything was dark when we kind of like opened the door to peep out. But in the bathroom, it looked like this, like bright light, like the lights never went out in that bathroom. But everywhere else, it was pitch dark. Okay. Oh. Yes. And then, so when finally Kevin was able to get out, you know what was holding that door closed so that wind couldn't whip us out of there?
What?
A clothes hanger.
A clothes hanger. Wow.
I said, are you serious? He said, yes. I said, OMG.
And your house was
toe up.
Roof off.
Big trees in the middle of the
all the windows busted. Yeah. And and I remember there was a car flipped over in the front of your house.
Our car. It was sitting on top of the mailbox. And that cab that I was telling you about, they blew the cab all the way from the end of the corner into our car. It was the car that you're talking about was flipped over. Wow. Yes. And that's why I said that was symbolic, because that cab came flying back down to the house, but that tree stopped the cab from coming in the house because the tree fell over in the house. And then our cars was on top of the mailbox and also stopped the cars from coming to the house.
Wow, Carol, that's amazing. That's amazing. Hey, listen, real quick, I got one more quick question before we get off. What's the importance of hiring a public adjuster in a situation like that?
Oh my God, it's very important. I tell people all the time when they have some kind of things going on with them, flood, fire, nature, an act of nature. Call your public adjuster, but make sure you call the right one. I say you call Curtis Hordge. Don't call nobody else. Call him because he can help you out. I said because a lot of things we don't understand, like the insurance people try to take advantage of us. It's 4 of us and they want to give us $500. But you pull them aside and say, no, sir, we're not going to do this. You're going to give them more than $500. And we was like, oh my God, we did not know that they're supposed to give us more than that. Even a place to live. We didn't know that they were supposed to give us a place to live. We just like out there, we got to go get a hotel on our own. And he's like, no, you do not. They will provide that for you. I say what? And then you just educated us so much that after that, we started educating people. But we was like, but don't listen to us. Call Curtis. He can help you out better than we can tell you. He can show you what he can do. So, awesome. Like I said, it's a lot of stuff we did not know and people don't know. Like we got a situation right now, someone that's going through a flood, didn't know what to do. They was finna get taken advantage of them big time. And I say, no, ma'am, call Curtis. He can help you with this. He can walk you through the whole process. And so now she's like grateful. She's like, oh my God, my house is so beautiful, and they doing everything. I said, of course, Curtis gonna take care of you. He's not gonna gyp you. So I tell anybody, you want to get a public adjuster whenever you have a fire, flood, tornado, hurricane, whatever. He's there. He's your man. Curtis Hordge is your man.
All right, National Justice Service. Let's go. Thank you, Carol. I really appreciate you being on board and coming on the show.
Oh, most definitely. Always,
Definitely. We'll definitely be in touch and keep in touch with each other.
Yes.
Anyway, I got to close out now. You know what I'm saying? The time it comes fast, it goes fast. But I want to thank everybody for listening to this show. Thank you, Carol Barnes, for being on the show. We'd like you to like, share, and subscribe for more information. We want to keep on giving this information out to people so they'll know who to trust in a situation where they have a major loss.